Amazon just abruptly stopped over $1 billion worth of paid ads on Google. Most of these are on Google Shopping, but a lot of their ad budget has been slashed to virtually zero. What does this mean for the advertising industry, us affiliate marketers, internet marketers, and people running businesses online? How will this affect Amazon affiliates, Shopify dropshippers, bloggers, and people looking to rank on Google? This is a super important training. What you're going to learn here is several strategies that Amazon has been using over the past few years to make hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah, they're one of the biggest companies on planet Earth, but how they got that way is kind of a secret to most people. And while they are looking at canceling a lot of Google ads, many people forget that without Google, there would be no Amazon. That's right, Amazon started on the backs of free Google search. That's why they started out selling books, because if you could rank for every book that people search for in Google, well then you're going to get a lot of traffic and make a lot of money. This is super important. We're going to talk about the SEO aspect, why they're canceling their ads, and 5 secrets that Amazon used to get super big, super quick, and make tons of money. Plus, there's going to be lessons for you as a business owner, an affiliate marketer, or just someone trying to make money online. So if you're excited, smash the like button, pay close attention, and I'll show you exactly how Amazon's ad bomb is changing the face of advertising online. What it means to Google, what it means to you, and more. Come on, let's go to work. All right, so recent news has talked about Amazon strategically pausing most of its Google Shopping ads. What does a Google Shopping ad look like? That's when you have these little products and things over here where they are sponsored ads going to shopping. Much like if you were to go over here and click on shopping, you can see all of the shopping ads there for these little air conditioners and things like that. What you're going to notice is that while eBay and these other companies are here, Amazon is no longer here, which is kind of interesting. This is something that is shaking up the ad industry and the affiliate marketing and all of this business in a crazy, crazy way. And with the advent of AI and all of these things coming out, this is going to get kind of dicey, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for people to build businesses and start startups and things like that. Now, as you watch this, we're going to talk about a lot of money. I mean, they're spending $1 billion a year. They're making hundreds of millions a year. This is a gigantic industry. I want you to realize that the vast majority of people trying to make money online, building startups and everything like that, make nothing. So take this with a grain of salt. Look at it like a business. What we're doing is we're looking for gaps in the marketplace that we can take advantage of. We're looking for things that we can learn from big businesses. What do they do? How do they get where they are? And what can we glean from as a startup, or even if we're just starting a blog or an affiliate marketing business or whatever it is. Now, when we look at this for the ad industry at large, what we have to do is understand exactly what's going on. And what this is a land grab of the ads that Amazon used to have, where a lot of people are going to go in there. So you're going to have Walmart, you're going to have eBay, you're going to have a lot of drop shippers, you're going to have a lot of people that otherwise couldn't afford ads, now able to afford ads. Why? Simply because Amazon is a behemoth and they could afford to lose money. So they were bidding a lot for these ads and things like that. Now, in addition to this, looking at Amazon's SEO, we could see that they're free traffic. Okay, we want to look at this, we want to divide this up. What we have here is 2 parts of the Amazon coin. You have free traffic, also known as SEO. This is where you're ranking in the AI tools, where you're ranking in Google, Yahoo, MSN, and all this other stuff. Paid ads is when you're showing up on paid ads, right? Like here, this would be I'm paying for it. Whereas over here in regular Google, search for the same term, paid ads down here are free ads. So like Amazon right here is paying nothing for this link. If they were up here, they would be paying money. That's where the billions of dollars comes from, is paying for the spot in the search engine. Now, they're getting the free traffic here. That's what they've been doing for years, and that's what this signifies. We have Amazon with over 50 million search results, keywords in Google. That means 50 million things you type in Google, Amazon's going to come up. Now, we are seeing that they dropped a bit. So about 10% drop in the last 6 months alone. If we were to go last 24 hours or 7 days, you'd see that number fluctuate as well. In addition to that, we could see that the organic traffic that they get from Google without paying for it is 434 million visitors a month. That's not the total traffic. The total traffic Amazon gets is way higher than that, coming in at 2.6 billion. Now, why does Google love this site, and why would they stop their ads? I mean, if something's profitable, why would you stop it? Well, we're going to get into that in just a minute. You can see here, they are getting free traffic. So even by stopping those ads, they are getting an estimated value of $121 million a month worth of free traffic, meaning they don't have to do anything except keep the Amazon site open. Boom, they're going to get that traffic. That's a lot of money. That's how they built it up. When you look back at how Amazon started, they started with books. Why? Because books had a lot of SKUs, right? If I was going to sell, keys or lamps or coffee pots, there's only a finite number of coffee pots available. When we go into the book market, it's crazy. I mean, there's hundreds of millions of books out there, which means you can rank for all kinds of things. And when you see that, that's like if we were to go to the Ahrefs keyword tool and we go into the actual keyword explorer and we were to type something in like, let's say, Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance. Well, let's just do motorcycle because I'm not going to try to spell maintenance. Now, looking at this just happens to be my favorite book, and we could see that 7,100 people a month look for just this title. And if you've never heard of this book before, type didn't know it existed or something as a comment to let us know, which means like 7,000 people a month are searching for this. That's almost 40,000 people a year or something like that. A lot of people every year. Actually, it's more than that. I think it's like almost 90,000 people a year. A lot of people a year searching for this. And when we look at that, that's just one book out of a lot of books. So what Amazon did is they were like, well, if we could rank for this, sell that product, get a customer. Now they like our stuff because we shipped the book so fast. It was a good experience. Now they're going to come back and buy other stuff. This is important. This is a business lesson a lot of people miss, where it's do one thing really well to one group of people, save that customer for later. Very important. Now, when we look at this, we could see that Amazon has a lot of traffic here, over 2.6 billion visitors a month. Their bounce rate is actually pretty low. Most sites are going to be like 70 to 90%. And their pages per visit. That means out of these 2.6 billion people, the average is going to almost 10 pages, meaning there's literally like 26 billion page views, and the average person is on the site 6 minutes or more. That's pretty crazy, right? Looking at this, it's like, okay, these are numbers that we got to learn from. And one of the things we're going to see with Amazon is they are absolutely obsessed with numbers, with testing, and data. More about that in just a minute. So what we're seeing here is the ultimate validation of retail media. This is where Amazon is literally saying, thanks, Google. We're big now. We don't need you anymore. We are our own. And they are truthful about that. That is a fact, right? We go to Amazon. Most people don't go to Google before they go to Amazon. They just go straight to Amazon. Why? We've all bought from Amazon before. Convenience, ease of use, and just sheer product demand. Like there are some things that you have to get on Amazon that you can't get anywhere else. Now, we'll get into some other stuff about that in just a minute. But looking at this, we're seeing that there are retail media networks. A lot of people don't know this, but Amazon is what's known as a retail media network, where not everything you buy on Amazon is shipped from Amazon. Like some of them are other sellers, much like eBay. They're like a hybrid of Walmart and eBay where other people can sell stuff on their platform. What they built was a platform, not a store. This is very important. We can also see that their retail media network is fragmenting the market away from Google, where people are now going to Amazon. Amazon is now the search engine. Very important. Also, this is a warning shot for Google's dominance, which has been threatened a lot lately. You had the lawsuits by the government for the monopoly. Big things happening. You have AI threatening Google's dominance. 25-year reign of Google just dominating search and making hundreds of billions of dollars. Now, I've made a lot of money using Google and other things like that. Haven't done much with Amazon, but I have done product sales and things like that. But looking at this, it's all one side of the same coin. It's all traffic going to buy things. Now, what we're looking at here is the value of these search terms. What is the value of this? Now, here, you're going to see the value is $422 according to Google. or according to Ahrefs, sorry. When we look at this, it's saying, okay, that's the value there, which is roughly like 20 cents a click or 40 cents a click or something like that. Whereas to Amazon, this is worth customers. Because if I can turn these into customers and break even, or maybe even lose a little bit of money, now I'm building a business in a crazy way. And if you were to go out there and search Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance right here, you're going to see all kinds of things here. Where Amazon did show up here, now they're not. However, they are number 2 under Wikipedia. So the question is, do they actually need to be buying ads? That's the answer they're looking for, because if they could save $1 billion a year, that's pretty crazy. And you can see a lot of the things that they rank for is absolutely crazy. They rank right here, number 1 for air purifier. That's a keyword where that thing's worth a lot of money. You're looking here at an estimate of 69 cents per visitor, and a lot of visitors, 250,000 visitors a month or searches a month. And that's just the root keyword. There's lots and lots of other things. Now, for Amazon affiliates, what we're going to see is a potential for a profit arbitrage. What does this mean? Well, arbitrage is buying low, selling high. You're finding a gap in the marketplace. I've done this lots of times with various things. Obviously, you want to do it in an ethical way. Make sure you're providing good products and good services and disclaimering that you're an affiliate and everything like that. And what this is now you can go in and maybe buy an ad on Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance and maybe sell an Audible subscription or something like that, where Amazon's no longer there, the price is going to drop, and we can learn from what they were bidding on. There's actually 2 things you can look at in Ahrefs where we can go through and see paid keywords, where there's a lot of them. Right? They had, I think this is just $1 to $5. In the entire range, there was like 26 million keywords they were bidding on, and you can see a lot of them are removed now. However, when you look at this, it's like, okay, well, how does this work? Where does the money come from? And you can see like affordable water softener systems. Okay, that's a pretty specific term. Not a lot of searches, but I'm sure water softener systems does have a lot. And you can see, yeah, again, Amazon is no longer there. They might show up down here, although Amazon is not as big for this specific product as like a Home Depot or something like that. But we could see, hey, yeah, this stuff does sell. And we're seeing YouTube here where there's a guy, the water guy, talking about all this stuff. So a lot of things going on. Understanding, I know a lot of gurus in the space are talking about how search is over and Google is not going to be looked at anymore, or whatever it is. It really hasn't moved the needle. Like, I don't think Google wakes up wondering, oh my gosh, search is over. Search is changing, right? Things that people are going to ChatGPT and other things for are more detailed answers, whereas we still go to Google to say, hey, what is this or what is that? Or where do I buy this? Very important. Now, cost per click with Google Ads is expected to drop quite a bit, probably already has. Amazon Associates commissions rates remain the same. Now, this is something I actually worry about. Amazon, in my opinion, in the past has been really stingy with their affiliate network. They do pay some, and maybe they're generous because they don't really have to. They don't really need affiliates. And I think they are generous with their on-site affiliates. Yes, you can actually go and review products on-site, get paid when they buy it on Amazon. You don't even need a website. That's something to look into as UGC content. However, looking at this, I think for regular affiliates, Amazon is always my last option because they pay so little, but they convert like crazy. So, there's a trade-off there. However, I am a little worried that Amazon might do the same thing. They might be like, we don't need Google anymore. We don't need affiliates anymore. We are the king. And they kind of are, right? It's kind of like, okay, people buy on Amazon whether you like it or not. The result is higher ROI and profit margins for affiliates. So there's going to be a lot here, especially in like Black Friday and big sales days. Affiliates can really get in there, and maybe that's what they're looking at. Maybe they're like, hey, the affiliates will buy the ads for us. So looking at that is a big deal. Increased SEO visibility. With Amazon's ads gone, there's more room for high-quality organic search results, well-ranked affiliate review articles. This could be really good for affiliates because now we're getting into more review stuff, and now we can, put reviews on there, and you could do like review arbitrage where you buy an ad, you run them to a review, you sell the product. That can work really well. And what I would do in that case is find the affiliate offer that pays the most, or maybe even drop ship it. but do it all based on data. We're going to get into how Amazon looks at data and what that means for you as a business owner. Increased SEO visibility, the competition just changed. So like the ad space isn't going to be empty. Someone is going to swoop in and get those ads. Might be you, might be me, might be some other companies, might be Walmart, although Walmart's already there, so there's a gap for other people. Now, when we look at Shopify sites, this is a big gap. And one of the things that I do all the time is I'm pulling keyword reports from big places like Amazon to see products that people are searching for so that I can get data when I do a Shopify store or a drop shipping or whatever it is I'm building, even an affiliate website, where I can see, oh, people are actually looking up these water softeners or like this payment gateways or whatever it is where we're going through this book, these Air Oasis or whatever it is, so that I could get in there and get this done in a really, really straightforward way. What's going to happen here is there's going to be a liberation from the Amazon tax, which bids up the rankings. Amazon can literally pay whatever they want. They have tracking, they have the stats, they have the profit margin, and they're basically buying customers. If I'm buying a customer and you're trying to profit on your ad, I'm winning because I'm in there for buying a customer. I'll break even. You'll lose because you have to get that profit margin. Now, that Amazon tax is going to be going away, and that major competitor is gone from the product listings, which means big drop in customer acquisition cost. And if you know what you're doing and you know your numbers, this could be huge. Now, the DTC, direct to consumer, this is going to get a lot more profitable because now you're not competing against Amazon. Also, nowhere to hide. Brands can't rely on Amazon's halo effect on Google anymore. This could affect brands. If there was a keyword they were ranking on, let's say the air purifier, and that Amazon shop was relying on that ad, well, that could go away because a lot of this stuff could be Google search and not necessarily Amazon search. Now, Amazon is big enough to probably have that crossover, but again, it could be detrimental for some businesses. Now, for drop shippers, you have cheaper traffic, increased professional competition, which means instead of blanket bidders like Amazon, I mean, years ago, we used to have a joke about eBay because eBay literally bid on any keyword, including ones you would make up. So I could just make up a word, type it in Google, eBay would be like, get this word here. And it would have my made up word in the actual ad, which is like, okay, yeah, you can't really buy that on eBay, but it doesn't exist, but they're still advertising anyway. That's a blanket bidder. Whereas if you know your metrics and you're the actual person doing the water softener, you have a much better profit margin, or even if you're a drop shipper, that can work as well. Also, the clock is ticking on undiscovered product. Watch this data. Undiscovered products is a huge gap in the marketplace where you can find things all day and market them. Again, it takes work. You got to build stuff. There's risk. You could lose money. But understanding how it works, now we're making data-driven decisions. And looking at Amazon, they make data-driven decisions. Even at their level where they could waste a few $1 billion and not bat an eye, they're still looking at data probably better than small businesses. Why? They're obsessed with data. They're obsessed with profit margin. As a small business, as a startup, as an affiliate marketer, you need to do the same. You can't just go out there and wish. You can't hope. You can't expect free traffic to just buy things. Even free traffic needs to be monetized to the best of the ability. Also, success now requires more than just finding a product and running ads. It demands stronger branding and unique angle and mastery of alternative traffic sources. This is where we see like TikTok, huge. You can promote products on TikTok and just stay the course. Do one product really, really good. Far too many people are trying to sell far too many different things. Now, search and SEO lessons. First of all, Amazon taught us that our platform is a search engine. Probably part of the reason they think they don't need Google Ads anymore is because, hey, they have their own search engine. People go to Amazon to search. Very simple. Now, they have an algorithm based on products and conversion likelihood, which is literally changing at the minute. The minute you search it, it might be changing somewhere else. Understanding this dynamic way of getting search, getting results, getting products, this is where AI is going to come in really big. Harness user-generated content as an SEO goldmine. This is something some controversial influencers have used where they have user-generated content to promote their stuff. This is kind of what Amazon did. They were like, hey, we can rely on all these affiliates to test these products and use these products. They will rank. We don't need to rank. And that's something that's important. This is a double-edged thing where Amazon learns from this, but there's also lots of affiliates that make good money doing this model. Now, again, the vast majority of people make nothing, but there are some people that do really well. It takes a lot of work. You got to do it. But understanding that's out there and understanding, yeah, let's do one product rather than trying to make a store. People come to me all the time and they're like, how would I market my store? And I'm like, you're not going to. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no niche. You're going to go broke trying to market it. Instead, market one product like Amazon did at the beginning. Them starting with books is probably one of the biggest business lessons of all time. Very important. Now, each product page has a dynamic, evolving content. The Q&A is specific to what they searched. So if you're on that page and you search 2024 water softener, the Q&A is going to change to 2024 rather than just generic. This is something we learned with Google. We're running ads on Google. Having the keyword that they searched in the title, conversions go up like crazy. Same thing with your blog post. Having the title in there, having what they search for somewhere they can see, increases people on the site, makes them stay longer, and makes them buy more. Also, master every layer of the funnel. This is a big one. Show up at every step from discovery to comparison. What does this mean? Discovery is, oh, what's the best water heater? Comparison is this one versus this one, which do I buy? Like that's different parts of the buying funnel where it's like, okay, am I just looking? Or is my credit card in hand ready to buy? The takeaway, optimize for both paid and organic. This is key because a lot of people think they're one and the same, and they're not. Usually I will have a different domain and different website for paid traffic and free traffic. Number 4, structure data for competitive edge. The lesson is to use structured data to communicate clearly with search engines. Tell them what you have, what you want. Why does Amazon show up? Because they have the products for sale. If they didn't have them, they probably wouldn't show up. If someone's looking for Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, they're either looking for info about the book or to buy the book. No two things, right? They don't want to know what kind of paper it's on. They want to know, where do I buy this? Do I get it and listen to it? Do I get the hardcover book, the softcover book? That's what they want. So understanding that is key, and we're going to have our data do that, and that's where Google is going to show like the rich snippets like star ratings, in stock, how much it cost, different things like that. Data personalization, this is key. Amazon is obsessed with customer data. They want to know everything we want before we want it. This is what we call anticipatory marketing, where we're anticipating what that customer would want, need, or value based on what they search for. How Amazon does it, this is what I've been teaching for years. They work backwards from the perfect customer experience to achieve fast, free shipping and all of this stuff. And they monitor every click, hover, purchase, and streamline for the shopping journey. Most people have a confusing website. Amazon, like a lot of people come to me and they're like, Marcus, your website looks like it was built in 1999. Yeah, well, so does Google and Amazon, and they're the biggest companies on planet Earth. And I get people argue all the time. They say you need a spinner, you need Flash, you need crazy cool stuff, and you don't. Amazon has showed us, that's why they patented the one-click order button. If I can get you to order, that's the key. So use your data for personalized experience. Be obsessed with your customer data, what people do. Another lesson that Amazon taught us is to ignite the flywheel. Design systems where growth leads to more growth. The snowball effect, right? How can I build something that's going to grow? Let's sell this one book. People who buy one book probably are going to buy another book. That's just human nature, right? Most people don't just read one book in their lifetime. Most people have shelves of them. I think there was even a Seinfeld episode that talked about why people keep books around. But looking at that was very important because the flywheel is, what can I do? So in my business, and in Jeff Bezos' flywheel model, he said lower prices improve customer experience, better experience drives traffic, more traffic attracts sellers, that's where they got the sellers, more sellers increase product selection. Now you got a billion things that, you're getting traffic from Google. A lot of the stuff that Amazon ranks for on Google, they don't even source themselves. It's from somewhere else. It's a different guy selling it. Better selection improves experience, and the cycle repeats. So how can you do this in your business? Can you go out there and say, well, I'm going to give you a better experience when it comes to reviews or products or a blog or information or tools? How can I build and keep you coming back and keep helping with other things, anticipating what you're going to want next? Now, here's some testing and innovation lessons. A/B testing, everything. Everything. What is an A/B test? That's where we put one ad with another ad. Test a different button with another button. Amazon tests all the time. Sometimes you'll see a blue button. They'll test it for, 1 million visitors. If it doesn't convert better than the green button, they'll use the green. If the red does better than the green, green's out, red's in. And they keep testing. Even minor gains like a 0.1%, you think about that with Amazon, like if they could close 0.1% more per day, that's probably more than most of us make in a lifetime. And starting to understand that in your business, it might even do better because you're testing on each page. This is something I teach all the time, where people think that one blog post is, I just have a blog with a bunch of posts. I don't. Each blog post, each page, each part of my site is like its own business. And when I understand, okay, this guy coming in from the word AdSense or the word make money or, buy shoes or whatever, we need to think about that person specifically and optimize and monetize that one blog post, that one thing to the best of the ability. And when you think you have it dialed in, do better. Test something else. Make it work. Also, another thing that they had in Amazon was make failure an option and a learning opportunity. Encourage innovation by accepting smart failures. You're going to have failures. Like the vast majority of people make nothing because they fail and then give up and try something else and fail and give up, instead of trying one thing and saying failure isn't the end. It's a learning opportunity. Right now, we don't want to go out there and risk a bunch of money on something and then have it fail. No, make smart decisions, smart failures. This didn't work. Why? What can I learn? How can I do better? Amazon's history included notable failures like the Fire Phone, Amazon restaurants, and different things like that. And those were pretty expensive failures. Now, relatively, for Amazon, they probably just shrugged it off. But failure is considered necessary part of innovation at Amazon, which is interesting. Now, does Amazon have some things they do good in terms of optimization in business? Yes. In terms of the world and the economy as a whole, I don't think it's necessarily the greatest thing, but there's a lot to learn from how they are ruthless about getting the most money possible from every person on planet Earth, if possible. Now, the recent pullback with ads is a planet-sized test. Question even your core assumptions. Amazon was out there and was like, okay, can we save $1 billion? Do we need this? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. And I guarantee if they lose $1.5 billion by pausing $1 billion in ads, you're going to see those ads pop back up pretty quickly. Now, I think Amazon's last quarter was a little bit lower, so it's kind of interesting. But the broader lesson is test everything, even your sacred cows, which means there's some advertising in your business, like banner ads. A lot of companies do banner ads. I was talking to my cousin who has a blinds business. They do mini blinds and all kinds of fancy window things. And he was talking to me about ads, and I was like, how do you know that those ads are actually profitable and it's not word of mouth? And the answer was he didn't know. A lot of businesses don't know. A lot of businesses don't do this strategy. And the biggest takeaway on this video is Amazon's cutting back ads. It's going to be a big opportunity for other things. Like, okay, maybe the blinds business can go in there where Amazon was advertising do-it-yourself blinds or whatever, and now you can get in there and get a much, much more targeted traffic cheaper. Also, when looking at this, there is an opportunity to learn from how Amazon is tracking everything and questioning everything and building that into business. What can you learn if you're doing this for your own business, for local clients, or whatever it is, and getting them in there and understanding what they want and what to test? Where maybe if I could go to a business like my cousin's and be like, hey, this 10 grand a month you're spending on ads isn't equating to anything, let me save you some money. Yeah, businesses are really going to like that. And using AI Now we can test like how Amazon does, right? All you need is traffic. That's the key. You can get traffic. A lot of people think that's the hard part of affiliate marketing, and it's not. And the proof that it's not is you can go buy traffic right now. Amazon's buying $1 billion a year worth of traffic from Google. If you have $1 billion, you could go buy traffic. If you have $100, you could buy traffic. Whatever, right? Very, very strategic. The problem is people don't trust the conversion process. They don't think it's actually going to work, so they don't risk on the ad. Now, with that said, there's tons of ways to generate free traffic, right? You can get a bunch of free traffic. You need to have the right thing to sell and the right thing to test. See if people click. See if people buy. See what they're interested in. See when they leave. See how long they stay on the page. See what they hover over with their mouse. There was a program, I think it was Neil Patel's program years ago. I called him up. I was getting 20 million people a month to my website, or I think it might have been, I think it was like 20 million impressions a day, 20,000 a day on the website or something like that. It was a lot of people. And we had used his program Crazy Egg to see what people hovered over so that we would know what they wanted. Because with that much traffic, yeah, we were able to test and say, oh, you know what? If we put a button over here on the right where their eye is naturally going, now we're going to get more people to the offer. And we were able to optimize from starting out 4 cents a click was what we were making. And then we were able to get it right around 18 cents. And on 20,000 people a day, that makes a huge difference. And that's what we got to understand. And again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. A lot of people trying paid traffic lose money. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. We want to make data-driven decisions like Amazon. And there's going to be an opportunity to buy these ads a lot less expensive than they were before. So hopefully you got a lot of good takeaways from this video. Let me know what your favorite takeaway or lesson was as a comment below. Smash the like button. Check out AIProfitScoop.com for the notes and the breakdown of all of these strategies and how I'm using them in my business. And I'll see you in the next training.